the biggest criticism has been fight a real boxer, fight someone your age. And I've been trying to. He pulled out of the fight twice.
This is a business fight for me. You know, there's no emotion involved. I don't feel anything when I look at Jake. You know, it's what it is. You know, I'm here to put this man away and, you know, solidify my name.
I have a better support system. And guess what? Me winning this fight is for the higher benevolent good of the universe. And so it's not just me in the ring. It's all of my guidance. It's all of my ancestors. It's all of my spiritual helpers.
Your head,
You
crying
had
your eyes out after a sparring session.
maiden name.
You was crying after a sparring
You
session.
had your mother's maiden name.
You was getting beat to death
and
in
you
the gym off
switched
amateur
it.
boxers. You are going to sleep. You are going to sleep, my friend.
You switched it to
I
Fury.
don't know.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Sharif from Culture Toronto, and I'm shamelessly invested in this fight between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. They are both in Saudi Arabia right now, and it's going to go down at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. I'm going to be streaming it. Okay, now if you're new to this thing, I'm going to fill you in on why this is an interesting fight. However, if you've been invested like me, watching the sparring, the pad work, even the spiritual stuff that Jake is into, and looking into the family of Tommy Fury and deciding if this guy's really like a legitimate Fury, then you still might get some insights in this video. In short, the question on everyone's mind is whether a YouTuber can actually beat a professional boxer. Let's get into it. First off, you might be wondering, how did we get here? How did a YouTuber get the privilege of being able to compete against a professional boxer? He started out doing vines like this.
Hey Dad, I know it's been a couple of years, but
Hey, this is Jeff's Pizza.
you gave me the wrong number.
I'm sorry, dude.
Let me get a large pizza.
What's
If
up?
you need anything, just holler.
Got it.
Can I get some water?
Yeah. The sneeze.
No, but seriously, in 2014, Twitter decides to shut down Vine, so Jake opens up this YouTube channel. Millions of followers later, beef occurs. Basically, him and the younger brother of another major YouTuber named KSI, this particular guy's name is Deji, they decide to have a boxing match. Now let me be clear, this fight was amateurish as F, and you can tell. Okay, now this is the sad part. A professional boxer might make $20,000 for a match if they're not like super famous. And for that performance that you just saw, Jake and Deji made millions of dollars. Deji was around 2, and Jake, the amount is undisclosed, but just double or triple it, and that's where he's at. Okay, so the fight was not impressive. I know kids who can like box better than both of them. But in the end, Jake Paul comes out victorious and he gets that arm raised, and he probably got the bug. He probably loved the feeling of just dominating someone in front of everyone, and I'm not sure if it's for good reasons, because if you look into his YouTube history, he's kind of known as a bully. Check out this clip from these twins that he brought in to join Team 10, to live in his mansion, to like live the dream, making videos and like that YouTube life.
Oh my god, we don't know if we're gonna sleep well today. Jake wakes up every day so early, so he can prank us.
Yeah.
But the reason is like, okay, he's gonna prank us, but he can prank all the members too.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
I would say, unlike most martial artists or even boxers, most of them don't like to hurt people in real life. Jake is a little different, and maybe boxing is a good place for him. I would say it's also in this fight where Jake shows that he's actually really good at mental warfare. So for this Deji fight, the guy actually makes a YouTube video that almost acts as a diss track, and it's against Deji, and he drops it like really close to the fight date. I think it's like 6 days before, and it gets millions of views. Alright, Black Girl had bars, but Jake kind of sounded a little constipated to me. I think it's safe to say that it worked in getting under Deji's skin. And Jake is going to be like this for his entire career. He's always trying to get under people's skin. He gets personal. He'll make fun of your family. He'll make fun of your injuries. I don't know. I think the only person he was totally respectful with was Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva looking to choke out Henderson.
Now, after this one amateur fight, he decides to go pro. And because of his reach and his connections, he's able to do that. Normally, boxers need about 20 amateur fights to go pro. But not Jake. So that's how Jake got on the path towards Tommy. Now, who's Tommy? Tommy is a Fury. The Furies are a fighting family. And the patriarch is John, that's Tommy's father. And Tommy also has a brother named Tyson Fury, who happens to be possibly the best heavyweight fighter that ever was, but definitely the best heavyweight fighter of our time. Well, let's be clear, they're half-brothers. So I don't know if Tommy's got that champion genetics. I mean, he's half John, but he's half someone else. I'm just saying it might be a factor. Look at Tommy, man. He's basically a model. And then look at Tyson. The guy's a beast. No disrespect to Tyson. Yeah. By the way, John kind of addressed this, and here's what he has to say about any of his sons.
No, and they're trying to put Tommy down like he's a bit, he's a bit worried about fighting. That kid's not worried about fighting. Nothing that comes out of my private parts. I'm speaking because there's women in here like that. I don't breed cowards. I breed fighting men. Good or bad, I breed them game.
All that to say is that Tommy would have lived boxing from like the moment he was born. If you're born into a family like that, boxing is part of the religion. And according to Tommy, at age 12, he starts to take boxing really seriously, starts training with goals to go pro, be a champion and all that. This fight just feels like a battle between good and evil. You got Jake on the one hand. He's the extrovert. He was the YouTuber. He's used to pressure. He's used to eyeballs. And he's a wicked promoter. He's able to create these boxing events with just YouTubers who have arguably no boxing talent. Tommy's different. In Tommy's eyes, his brother is special. His brother is this heavyweight genius. He's one Tyson comes in 100 years. And he knows he's not that guy. But he still wants to be a champion. He still wants to be great. And at this moment, he just feels that he needs to beat Jake Paul. Here's the tea on this fight. Win after win, people are saying, you're not fighting real professional boxers. And they have a point. Boxing is an art, and there's head movement involved and different ways to move and different footwork. Boxers are just masters of their craft. In Muay Thai, for example, you can't duck like a boxer would. You'll get kneed in the face or kicked in the face. In MMA, regarding Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva, they punch differently. Again, just Google MMA counter to jab. You're gonna see takedowns, you're gonna see throws, you're gonna see all kinds of shit. And they also have a habit of swinging real wide because they're setting up something else. Khabib is a great example of this.
Alhamdulillah, I know you got this, don't like this. Alhamdulillah.
And here's the thing about Tommy Fury. A lot of people don't think he's good.
Fury is not a real boxer.
Of course he's a real boxer.
No chance.
He's a professional boxer. Is he a world champion? No.
they are basically debating like if this guy's a real boxer.
Fury. You telling me this guy doesn't look like a boxer? You're out of your fucking mind.
Who's he fighting?
But I don't give a fuck, dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer. The guy's fighting looks good.
In Joe's eyes, Tommy Fury is 100% a real boxer. In his guest's eyes,
Tommy Fury is 100% a legit boxer. You're out of your mind if you don't. Look at this.
What
Look
is
at that right hand.
That was in slow motion.
No,
I
it's
think.
not in slow motion.
I think you.
Jake is gonna just plow through him.
I'd love to see him fight what I consider a guy who has dedicated his life to boxing, which Tommy Fury has not.
How do you know?
I mean, this fight has a classic setup. It's almost like the budget version of Connor McGregor and Khabib. Jake is kind of even like copying Connor. Check out his Instagram. Like, there's one picture of him running in the exact same place as Connor McGregor. Like, throughout his boxing journey, you'll just see the McGregorization of Jake Paul. They both are like tatted up. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I swear Jake copied Conor McGregor's back tattoo. They both do that weird thing, and my face should never do that. And I think Jake Paul is definitely taking a page out of Conor's book in terms of like how to be a villain. And Tommy is very similar to Khabib in some ways. Like they're both from a prestigious line of fighters. Khabib did like Sambo, but Tommy did boxing. They're both intimately trained by their fathers. Okay, now if you ask yourself who's gonna win, knowing that Tommy is from this legendary boxing family and Jake is this YouTube kid who just like took up boxing and decided to go pro after one amateur match, you'd probably bet on Tommy. But like, let's be honest, I have been mentally betting against Jake since his first fight with Uncle Ben. And I have lost that bet every single fight. He starches Ben Askren, he beats Tyron Woodley the first time on points, the second time in a devastating knockout. Don't look.
He's done it from time to time, just hasn't been.
And then he fights Anderson Silva, and like, how could Jake beat Anderson Silva? And here's the thing, he's picking these guys so strategically out of their primes. Like Ben Askren had like a hip replacement surgery not too long ago, and if you see him on pads, he looked like a grandpa. Tyron Woodley, MMA legend, however, an MMA legend, not a boxing legend. I mean, Anderson Silva was practically 50 years old. Okay, so now you're thinking, alright, there's Tommy Fury. Consider this, if you take all 8 of Tommy's opponents in professional boxing, their combined record is 24 wins and 176 losses. 4 of those 8 people has 0 wins. If Jake loses, he was just a YouTuber. He wasn't meant to win anyway. If Tommy Fury loses, he's the guy. He's the professional boxer that let Jake prove that anyone could be a professional boxer in just a couple of years. Jake has also been digging at the fact that Tommy's wife makes more money than him. Tommy just had a baby, so he's saying shit like, "You owe me, Tommy. I'm the reason you're gonna be able to afford diapers." Like this. So all this does is add more pressure on Tommy, but in the last encounter, he looked as cool as a cucumber. Before I show you my pick, let's hear from people who know more.
Jake Paul hasn't fought somebody his own size, but that said, I do think he wins. I think the improvements that he's been making in the gym will pay off. I think when you see him, listen, he can clearly punch. He can clearly punch, that's a fact. He face-planted Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, and he face-planted Tyron Woodley as well.
Look, Tommy Fury is unbelievably limited, right? But he is a fighter. He is a boxer. So all the criticism about Jake is, you've never fought a boxer. He's about to. Not a very good one, but still a boxer. And it just, for Tommy Fury, it's just a bit embarrassing. Like if he was to lose, it's embarrassing. Full stop.
I think Tommy knocks him out in 6 rounds.
6 rounds.
I said it to Jake in there.
I think that Paul will beat him. I think he will stop him late in the fight.
All right, guys, there you have it. The experts have spoken. What do I think? You know, every single time I bet against Jake, and he proves me wrong. But this time, I'm going with Tommy Fury. And that's because at least Tommy Fury has fought real boxers up to this point, although they were not very good ones. And he has his brother to, like, coach and mentor him. All logic says that Tommy should win. But I don't know, man. Jake thinks like it's for the greater good in the universe that he wins, and sometimes that kind of belief pulls through. If you watch this far, give it a like, subscribe, and you know, let me know your thoughts. Like, if you think it's Jake or Tommy, tell me why. All right, man. Peace. Hey, Tommy, give me a high five with that reach, bro.